The Toronto Blue Jays universe just experienced an earthquake that nobody saw coming, and the shockwaves are still reverberating through every corner of baseball fandom across Canada and beyond. Buckle up, because what we're about to reveal will leave you absolutely stunned, nostalgic, and maybe even a little emotional. This isn't just another off-season update. This is the kind of news that defines an era, closes a legendary chapter, and opens up a whole new world of possibilities for one of baseball's most passionate fan bases. Let's cut right to the chase. The voice that has defined Blue Jays baseball for generations. The man who turned routine fly balls into poetry and dramatic moments into unforgettable memories has officially hung up his microphone. Buck Martinez, the legendary announcer, former player, and absolute icon of the game, is riding off into the sunset. And honestly, the timing couldn't be more perfect or more bittersweet. Picture this scenario for just a moment. You've dedicated your entire life to the game of baseball. You've played it at the highest level, endured injuries that would have ended lesser careers, managed teams, and then spent decades painting pictures with your words from the broadcast booth. Now imagine that your final professional act, your last hurrah, your swan song, is calling a World Series Game 7. Not just any game, but a historic, tension-filled, edge-of-your-seat classic that had the entire baseball world holding its collective breath. That's exactly what Buck Martinez got to experience. While the Blue Jays didn't win that particular Game 7, which would have been the absolute cherry on top of an already incredible career Sunday, the fact that Buck got to call such a monumentally important game as his farewell is the kind of storybook ending that Hollywood screenwriters would consider too perfect to be believable. But this is real life, and sometimes real life delivers moments of pure, undeniable poetry. Buck Martinez isn't just some announcer who happened to work Blue Jays games. This man is Blue Jays baseball in so many ways. His career in the game spans decades and touches virtually every aspect of America's pastime. Before he ever stepped into a broadcast booth, Buck was grinding it out on the field as a catcher, a position that demands toughness, intelligence, and leadership. And boy, did he deliver on all three counts. But here's where the Buck Martinez legend really takes off into the stratosphere of baseball immortality. There's this play, this absolutely insane, physics-defying, mind-blowing play that perfectly encapsulates everything you need to know about Buck's toughness and dedication to winning. Picture the scene. Buck is behind the plate and chaos erupts on the base paths. During the play, Buck's leg snaps. We're talking about a broken leg, the kind of injury that would have most people crumpled on the ground screaming for medical attention. But not Buck Martinez. Oh no. This absolute warrior, this man made entirely of nails and determination and pure grit, somehow manages to complete the play and get the runner out while his leg is literally broken. Read that again. Let it sink in. Buck Martinez got an out with a broken leg. That's not just toughness. That's legendary status stuff. That's the kind of play that gets shown in highlight reels forever, that gets passed down through generations of baseball fans as the ultimate example of dedication to the game. But Buck's contributions to baseball broadcasting are equally impressive, and perhaps even more impactful for the millions of fans who never saw him play. His work in the booth has been recognized at the highest levels. The man literally won an Emmy Award for his call of Cal Ripken Jr.'s historic 2,131st consecutive game, the moment when Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's seemingly unbreakable record. Think about the pressure of that moment, the weight of baseball history hanging in the balance, and Buck absolutely nailed it. That call will live forever in baseball lore, cemented not just in the memories of those who watched it live, but officially recognized with one of broadcasting's most prestigious honors. For Blue Jays fans specifically, Buck Martinez has been the soundtrack to countless summers. His partnership with Dan Shulman in the booth created a dynamic that was both professional and personable, informative and entertaining. They could break down the intricacies of a pitcher's arsenal while also keeping things light and fun during a blowout game. They respected the audience's intelligence while never losing sight of the fact that baseball is supposed to be enjoyable. That's a difficult balance to strike, and Buck did it seemingly effortlessly year after year after year. The personal connection that fans have with Buck runs deep. Imagine being a kid, maybe 7 or 8 years old, just falling in love with baseball for the first time. You go to a game with stars in your eyes, hoping to get an autograph, any autograph, from one of your heroes. You try to get Jose Cruz to sign your baseball, but it doesn't work out. Then, out of nowhere, there's Buck Martinez, and he doesn't just sign your ball, he takes the time to make that moment special. That baseball ends up on your mantle, displayed by your fireplace, a tangible reminder of when one of the game's good guys took a few seconds to make a kid's day. That's the kind of impact Buck has had on people, and those stories exist by the thousands across Blue Jays Nation. So what happens now? Who steps into those enormous shoes? The broadcast booth is going to feel different, sound different, maybe even look different. Dan Schulman is still there, thankfully, providing continuity and his own brand of excellence. But finding the right partner, the right voice to complement Schulman and carry forward the tradition of quality Blue Jays broadcasting, that's going to be a fascinating process to watch unfold. Will they promote from within? There's already speculation about Ben Wagner potentially moving up from the radio side, which would create history of its own. Ben and his father Joe made history as the first father-son radio pairing to call a World Series together. The Wagner name is already synonymous with Blue Jays baseball for many fans, and Ben has proven himself to be an exceptional broadcaster in his own right. Or will the Blue Jays look elsewhere, bring in fresh blood, a new perspective? The announcing community surrounding the team is filled with talented individuals who have been paying their dues, developing their craft, and waiting for an opportunity like this. Whoever gets the nod will be stepping into a role with massive expectations and an immediate connection to millions of passionate fans. No pressure, right? But wait, because that's just the beginning of the massive news coming out of Blue Jays headquarters. While Buck's retirement is the emotional headline, the organization is simultaneously rolling out what might be the most ambitious and creative promotional calendar in franchise history. And considering we're talking about the Blue Jays' 50th anniversary season, the stakes for getting this right couldn't be higher. The team clearly understands that this is a moment to celebrate not just the history of the franchise, but the fans who have been along for the entire wild ride. The promotional giveaways that have been announced so far are absolutely bonkers in the best possible way. We're talking about items that hit every possible nostalgic pressure point while also celebrating current stars and looking toward the future. Let's break down some of the absolute highlights because, trust me, you're going to want to mark your calendars for these games. First up, and this is going to make a certain segment of the fan base lose their minds with excitement, they're bringing back the Trey Savage black jerseys. Yes, you read that correctly. Those beautiful, sleek, intimidating black jerseys with the Angry Bird logo are making a comeback as a promotional giveaway. For those who don't know, these jerseys have developed almost mythical status among collectors and fans. They represent a specific era of Blue Jays baseball, and getting your hands on one has been difficult and expensive on the secondary market. The fact that the team is doing a giveaway means thousands of fans will finally have a chance to own one of these coveted pieces of Blue Jays history. But that's just scratching the surface. They're also doing a throwback to one of the team's greatest pitchers with a Roy Halladay cutoff sleeve jersey giveaway. Doc Halladay remains one of the most beloved players in franchise history, a workhorse ace who epitomized professionalism and excellence. Seeing fans wearing those cutoff sleeves, channeling the spirit of one of the greatest to ever wear the Blue Jays uniform, is going to create some seriously emotional moments throughout the season. Canada Day is always a massive celebration at the ballpark, and this year they're going big with a Shane Bieber-themed giveaway. Bieber, one of the game's premier pitchers, representing the Blue Jays on Canada's national holiday, creates a perfect synergy of Canadian pride and baseball excellence. Then there's the home run tribute shirt featuring Springer, Carter, and Vladdy, three sluggers from different eras of Blue Jays baseball, united in their ability to change games with one swing of the bat. That's the kind of item that bridges generational divides among the fan base. Now here's where things get delightfully weird and wonderfully nostalgic. Remember Domer the Turtle? That bizarre, somewhat awkward mascot from when the Sky Dome first opened? Well, apparently someone in the Blue Jays marketing department has both a sense of humor and access to the team archives, because they're doing a retro hat night featuring Domer. This is peak early 90s Canadian sports kitsch, and it's absolutely perfect. Is it ridiculous? Yes. Is it completely unnecessary? Absolutely. Will fans go absolutely crazy for it? You better believe it. Sometimes the best promotional items are the ones that make you smile and shake your head at the same time. The Year 2000 themed weekend is another stroke of promotional genius. They're recreating those fleece pullovers with the 50th anniversary logo and all the previous Blue Jays logos from the team's history. For fans who lived through that era, it's a direct pipeline to their memories of watching baseball at the turn of the millennium. For younger fans, it's a cool vintage look that connects them to the team's broader history. Plus, fleece pullovers are just objectively comfortable and practical, so you're getting nostalgia and utility in one package. There's also going to be a pullover featuring the big maple leaf logo, which is simple, clean, and undeniably Canadian. Sometimes less is more, and a bold maple leaf on quality apparel is the kind of item that transcends being just sports merchandise and becomes something you'd actually want to wear regularly. The retro bags being given away will be perfect for carrying your gear to the ballpark or just using in everyday life, constant reminders of your Blue Jays fandom wherever you go. But perhaps the most emotionally significant giveaway of the entire season is the replica championship rings. Late in the year, the Blue Jays are giving away replicas of their back-to-back World Series rings from 1992 and 1993. For a fan base that has been waiting decades for another championship, these rings represent the pinnacle of Blue Jays achievement. Getting to own even a replica of those rings, to slip it on your finger and feel that weight and see that sparkle, is going to be incredibly meaningful for thousands of fans. It's a tangible connection to the greatest moments in franchise history, a reminder of what's possible, and maybe even inspiration for what could come again. The bobblehead situation is similarly impressive, with a City Connect themed Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion bobblehead that celebrates two of the most impactful players of the modern Blue Jays era. Bautista's bat flip is probably the single most iconic moment in Blue Jays playoff history since 1993, and Encarnacion was an absolute run-producing machine during those exciting mid-2010s playoff runs.
Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.